Welcome to FCN Quick News of the Day. I'm Officer Daniel, and in today's news we have
from the New York Post, video of drag queen gyrating in front of child has Texas politicians pushing for legislative action.
So the LGBT community you see is out here in Texas giving kids lap dances. Shit, it's crazy. Give me that video.
Excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to read the story.
This is a disgrace. Men dressed as prostitutes reading filth to children. Look at all these people here, lads. They're a protection of grooming.
Get your hand off me!
You're the one.
Get your hand off me!
Look at this, lads. They're all around me.
And they're allowing this, they're adding this to curriculum in schools. That's crazy, man. Play this last video.
Let that be the first and last time I see you do that, please. Take that off. Take that off immediately.
Oh, here, I'll go. Take it off, take it off.
And you guys never ever let my son put a dress on, ever.
So this is a man correcting teachers for putting his son in a dress.
No worries. We're gonna do that. First time and last time. Yeah, first time and last time.
Ever.
See? So as you can see, the reason why we put these combinations of videos together, you can see that there is a movement to push this type of community, the LGBT community, on our children, to accept it, to make it, that's where you desensitize people to a belief that you have in order for you to, so it can be accepted nationally, right? And a lot of times what we have to do is we have to show the spiritual aspect of it because it's biblical, right? And we're going to see what God says about it. Give me Isaiah chapter 1, and we're going to read verse 9. We're going to start there. Isaiah 1 and read verse 9.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
So God says if he hadn't left us a small remnant, we would be like Sodom and Gomorrah. What was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah? Sodomy. That's what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, that lifestyle. So God says if he didn't leave the remnant of what? Give me that. Let's get the remnant. Isaiah 11 and read verse, I think it's 11.
Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
That's what the remnant is. The remnant is God's people. So if God didn't leave you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, if God did not leave you here on this earth to be the representative of God, the righteous in this dark place, God says we would have all been like Sodom and Gomorrah. Why? Revelations chapter 12, I'm going to read verse 8. Revelations 12 and verse 8.
Revelation chapter 12 and verse 8. And prevailed not, neither was their place.
11:8.
11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
This place is called Sodom and Egypt because LGBT laws, the justifying of it, was pushed first here in this great city, this great place called Babylon the Great. God called it Sodom and Egypt, right? Egypt, give me Egypt, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So God says he was going to bring us into the land of Egypt, but this Egypt we were going to was going to be by cargo slave ships. How did we get to the Americas? We got to the Americas in 1492 under the quest of the conquistadors, and also in 1619 under the transatlantic slave trade. So God is identifying America as Egypt. Exodus 20, read verse 8 real quick. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day.
Verse
2.
2.
I'm the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
The house of bondage. That's the similitude for Egypt, meaning slavery. So when you go back to Revelations 11 and 8, read that again.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom.
Spiritually called Sodom, because if that remnant wasn't left, those LGBT laws would devour this place. This place would be the place of darkness, Babylon the Great, which it is. There would be no righteous to stand up against this that's being pushed on our children to say it's not right. You understand? Go ahead.
And Egypt.
And Egypt, the place of slavery or bondage. You understand? So that's why here at Israel United in Christ, we teach that we have to bring our kids out of these institutions. Why? Because these institutions are not teaching our children the right way, the way of the Lord. They're not doing that. Give me 1 Maccabees chapter 7. I'm going to read verse 27.
2 Maccabees chapter 7 and verse 27.
Yeah.
But she, bowing herself toward him, laughing the cruel tyrant to scorn, spake in her country language on this manner. O my son, have pity upon me that bear thee 9 months in my womb.
So this is a woman facing death with her 7 sons. And these are the words the last words that she gave her sons. Go ahead.
And gave thee suck 3 years, and nourished thee, and brought thee up unto this age, and endured the troubles of education.
So she acknowledged the work that she had put in with those sons. She said she endured the troubles of education. What is the troubles of education? Because that's what our sisters have to put that work in, right? Deuteronomy 6.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 1. Now
read verse 7 first.
Verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
So teach them diligently. We have to teach these things diligently to our children. What things? Jump up to verse 1 now.
Verse 1. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments, which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it.
So the things that we have to diligently teach to our children is God's commandments. Jump back down to verse 7.
Verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
When thou sittest in thy house.
And when thou walkest by the way.
Come on.
And when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
Now he gave you the time frame. He said when you wake up, that's morning. When you walk by the way, that's afternoon. You're walking up and down, to and fro. And when thou liest down, when you go to sleep. You understand? So you should be teaching our children God's commandments 24/7. All right, so you sisters, make sure y'all doing that.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom. What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity.